All right, so today we'll do a little bit of everything. We'll do some work on the shoulders, we'll do some work on the hips. We're gonna start with the shoulders. Go ahead and grab something that you can use like a strap. Towel, blanket, belt, dog leash, whatever. We're just gonna do a little bit of active recovery for the shoulders and then find a longer hold. So you're gonna pull your strap wide, inhale, strap overhead, see if you can keep your arms relatively straight, and then maybe strap behind your head. It doesn't have to go all the way back. It's totally fine if it just kind of hovers above the head. Just feel the stretch in the front of the shoulders. And let's just do that a few times. So use your breath here. And keep it slow. Try to avoid the head moving forward and backward. Let this be a movement that happens in the shoulder girdle, not in the neck, not in the head. Okay, and then we'll set that off to the side and we'll get set up for like a, for this pose called different things. We call it heart melting, just so you get the sense that heart is moving down towards the floor. You're gonna wanna prop your elbows up on something. So gathering a stack of pillows, a stool at work, blocks if you have them. I like to pad my knees, especially if you're on a hardwood floor. Okay, so it's kind of like child's pose. We'll bring the elbows forward and whatever you're using to prop up your elbows, you're gonna kind of scoot back and you're gonna have to adjust this for your own body. And so the head, see if you can relax the head between the biceps. The head might kind of rest on the bolster, but see if you can allow it to go beyond the bolster. And that's probably gonna be like a combination of distance of the torso or distance of the knees from the bolster. So you might need to scoot back a little bit, you might need to scoot forward a little bit. Start to breathe a little bit deeper here. Breathe a little bit slower, see if you can bring the awareness to the breath in and out through the nose. And then with each exhale, see if you can just get a little bit heavier in the chest, get a little bit more relaxed through the head. We'll be here for just a couple more minutes. I'm going to set us a timer. A super long hold. Just enough to start to get some mobility into the shoulders. And take one more breath here. And then release the arms forward, start to sit back up. And take a few moments just to sit upright. And we're gonna set up a variation of pigeon pose, so I'll give you the option here to use props underneath the hips. So in pigeon pose or half pigeon, however you want to think of this, one foot comes forward. And then the back foot might extend out back behind you, but what I recommend starting off with is bending that front knee leg. Sorry, let someone into the room. That worked. All right, so pigeon pose setup. Here's an option. This front leg, whatever leg you're bringing forward, see if you can sit all the weight on that hip. You can use a bolster or pillow there if you want. And then from there, maybe extend the back leg. Or you can always keep that knee bent a lot. Okay, and then just bring your fingertips forward. And then see if you can hinge forward from the hips. And you might need to bring props underneath you in front of you. Again, getting creative as always, pillows, blankets, stools. All the things you have at your disposal are welcome to use. And if this is too much, this cushion is too much, just get rid of it. It's a lot for me today, so I'm gonna get rid of it myself. Sometimes I think props can be helpful and sometimes they can add to the sensation. So you're just always kind of checking it out for you and seeing what do I need today in the way of props. The idea though behind that initial setup and then wherever you go from there is kind of a journey. But the idea behind that initial setup in your half pigeon is to get all the weight into the tissue of the muscle and out of the knee joint. That's why I always have us starting off bending both knees and all the way forward into that front hip. As you settle in here, do your best to keep relaxing the head and the neck and the shoulders, relaxing the jaw. Breathing nice and slow in and out through the nose. We have a little bit less than a minute here on this side. And we'll take about 2 more breaths. And then start to sit your way up. And just for a moment here, roll all the way onto that front hip and swing your back leg forward. You can extend your legs out, deep breath in, sit up. Deep breath out, stay here for a moment. See if you can just relax your shoulders as you sit here. And then the opposite leg will start bending that knee and swinging the leg you just had forward back behind you. Make those 2 90-degree angles in the legs. If you want to add that prop, that cushion underneath that front hip, go for it. And then walking your fingertips forward of your front shin. We'll start to fold over the front leg. So see if you can keep the hip that's forward, all the weight back in that hip, so not forward onto the knee joint. A lot of times that helps to keep that deep bend in that back knee. And then eventually, as that front hip starts to loosen up, then you can start to work that back leg towards straight, but don't rush that process. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow. And take about 4 more breaths here. We'll sit up, take your time with that. As you're sitting up, again, you're gonna roll all the way forward to that front hip and then swing your back leg forward, extending through the legs. See if you can just take a moment here to sit up tall. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. The next shape we will take will be kind of like, well, it depends, like, as always, it's nuanced in your body and where your tissues are tighter, but it can feel like a back bend and as well as hip flexor extension. So you can try this with one knee bent back. So right now I'm just bending my right knee, my right toes are pointing straight back behind me, and I'm trying to get my ankle flat. Okay, and if that's not happening, then you're gonna need to add height underneath your hips. So that you can work with the ankle bone first to get the ankle flat. If all that's feeling well and good and you can get your sits bone inside of your ankle, you can try bending your left knee back. And then see if you can let both sits bones settle down to the mat. There might be a little bit of space there, and that's okay. I recommend taking a pile of blankets, a chair, a stool, something behind you. Now, you can always stay seated upright in this pose for the first half and then see about laying back, or you could do it one leg at a time. Right, so you could start off by just bending the right knee, leave your left leg extended forward. And then I'll let you know when we're halfway through, you can switch to the second side. So the ankle is the key, the first indicator of how far, what kind of support are you able to lay back, let the ankle kind of guide that. I don't do this pose often enough. So just notice what you feel, where you feel it. That's similarly to a pigeon pose. You keep it out of the knee joint into the belly of the muscle. And this one's a little bit harder to keep out of the knee joint. There will be some stretch to the knee. This is deep, 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 deep flexion of the knee. So most likely you're gonna feel some pulling around the knee joint itself. But not to the extent where you're like grinding your teeth, you're adding tension in the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. You're not able to relax the muscles around the knee. If that's happening, you need to back out, add more support, add more height underneath the spine, add more height underneath the sits bones. And then again, if you have both knees bent, try one leg at a time. Really, truly can. Something I like about this shape is that you can really, truly add as much height as you need underneath your spine. You could have a couch behind you and rest your elbows on that couch and kind of lean back on the couch. You don't have to get all the way supine. You don't have to get all the way onto your back. So it's very versatile in terms of the depth. Never forcing yourself into a shape, always bringing props up to meet you where you are today. Through this side, so if you're doing one side, or if you were seated and you want to try laying back, you can. If you are laying back and you're changing to the second side, roll all the weight onto the opposite hip so that you can free your bent knee leg forward without having weight on it. When you're ready, you can settle back in. Again, the key here, in between sides, or as you change from one side to the other, is getting the ankle in the position where it's not, where the toes aren't flexed out to the side, but they're pointing straight back behind you towards your head. The ankle bone is completely extended. So the top of the foot basically is flat on the mat. Like I said, on the other side, normal to feel this in the knee, a little bit of pulling sensation, okay. A lot of pulling sensation, only sensation in the knee joint. More tension building in the body, all signs that you need more support. You need more props. You need to back out a little bit, or a lot. the back bend piece that I mentioned. Typically will feel like that if you're laying on your back. The closer you get to being in a supine position, meaning laying all the way back, the more you'll probably feel this in your back. So just something to pay attention to and notice. It doesn't have to be a back bend, but like you're always going to start off with the ancillary parts like the ankle bone, then the knee, then the hip. And so it becomes really progressive. Let's take one more breath here. You're laying back, you're gonna sit up nice and slow, rolling all that weight forward onto the leg that doesn't have any weight on it. And if both knees are bent, then take your time, use your hands to press your way up. Freeing the legs. If you have props behind you, move those out of the way. We're just gonna do a brief little twist before our Shavasana. Lay on back, hug your knees into your chest, rock a little bit side to side. Knees out to the left, take 3 breaths here. And rotate the knees off to the right, take 3 breaths. Deep, full breaths, all the way down the spine. Knees back through center. Go ahead, hug your knees in one more time. And then you can extend the legs forward over any props so that backs and the knees get some support. This is a short Shavasana today. I'm going to give this 1 minute here. You can always, of course, stay longer if you like. Relaxing the shoulders down the back, slightly tilting the chin in towards the chest. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Out through the nose. Settling in, get heavy through your body. Keep the eyes closed. Be awakened. Your time. Rolling off to the side and then sitting up when you're ready. Maybe the eyes stay closed or the gaze stays soft. Sitting up nice and tall here, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. In closing, joining the hands together at the heart. Bowing the chin into the chest. With reverence and gratitude for the practice. To all of our teachers, past, present, future. To the teacher within your own heart. Namaste. Everyone.